Hello everyone, welcome to WGBS TV Live, brought to you by SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. In this, our November 17th, 2020 show, we're going to be covering a range of topics, including what's been happening with the Justice League Snyder Cut. We're going to be talking about the new teaser, or updated teaser that he released. We're going to be talking about just how many minutes of footage we'll get from his extra pick-up scenes that he's been filming. And we're going to talk Lois, Superman and Lois, comic books, and so much more. We're also going to turn to you to ask your questions and comments on any particular Superman topic you would like to discuss. And to let you know how all that works and how you can get involved in tonight's show, let me introduce you to my co-host who is parked outside the Legion of Doom headquarters. I'm a bit worried about you. Mike, how are you?
I'm doing fine, Steve. The Wi-Fi out here is amazing.
Wow.
I think that has something to do with Brainiac. I'm not quite sure. I think they've got a pretty solid plan. No, I found out tonight that Skype is allowing backgrounds, and I'm like, why should you have all the problems? The problem is that at the top of my head, it looks like I'm coming in and out of reality, so that's kind of weird. And if I move too much, it does weird things. But that's not what we're here to talk about tonight. I was going to make an election joke, but decided against it. We're here to talk about Superman because WGBS Live is all about Superman, and we want to hear from the Superman fans that are watching us live right now. So if we don't have a whole lot on the ticket, and if we have time for it, which is the same thing I just said, we're going to take calls about halfway through the show. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to use Skype. Go on to Skype, find Superman homepage, and send us a message that you'd like to be on the show. Now, a couple things. One, wait for us to call you. Don't call us. Much like the Legion of Doom, they like to invite you, and it can really mess up what we're doing. I mean, I just got backgrounds tonight. I have no idea how much this is going to hold together. Also, if you're using an external speaker to watch and listen to WGBS Live, please turn that down because we are on a bit of a delay, and that can really screw things up. Other than that, we want to hear from you.
Yes, definitely. And everyone watching live via YouTube, we invite you to get involved using the comments there, to chat with fellow fans, ask questions, post comments. Michael and I will react to those as the show goes on. And if you want your comment or question featured live on screen during the show, feel free to post a super chat. All you have to do is click on the little dollar symbol, a slider will appear, you decide on how much you want to donate, and we will feature your comment or question on the screen live during the show. And a huge thank you to our sponsors and patrons, Douglas Meacham and John Patrick Van Pelt. And if you want your name or business featured as a sponsor of this show, simply click the join button below. Well, it's all happening tonight. I'm actually back in my room, different position in my room, but I'll show some photos a bit later on. But tonight's speeding bulletin that will go live on our YouTube channel not long after this show is finished will feature the new configuration in the background of my video, so excited to show that off. And I will do a feature video that I did of my collection now in a new configuration, update that video on YouTube as well in the coming days, just trying to get the last 5% of all the stuff back in the room. It's a work in progress, and I have to say a huge thank you to my mum, my sisters, and my niece and my brother, who all helped out in doing different parts of getting this room together. So it's been a monumental effort. But well, let's get on to some of the topics of the week. And the big news of today really was the re-release of the teaser of Snyder's Justice League. But before that, he went on to chat with, I don't know what's the attraction is there, but the Grace Rudolph, who's a well-known YouTuber who does Beyond the Trailer. She has caught up with Zack, had a nice long chat with him on video about all different aspects of the Snyder Cut of Justice League coming to HBO Max next year. And he revealed, interestingly, probably the most interesting part of the video chat was the fact that the extra footage that he's filmed will amount to no more than 4 or 5 minutes overall.
Yeah, I saw that, and it feels like all of this hype that we've been reading about. It's like been. I'm not saying 4 minutes is nothing, because 4 minutes is a lot of screen time. When you really think about it, when you like sit there for 4 solid minutes. I mean, we're not going to do that right now because that would make for a really boring show. But it's just kind of weird if they're having the Joker in it. Is this all like new end tag stuff that he's filming? Because that would make the most sense if you're going to bring in these other supervillains. But yeah, that was I'm whelmed. Anyway, not underwhelmed. I'm not overwhelmed. I am whelmed. To quote Young Justice.
Well, here's a bit of the video chat that he had with Grace Rudolph speaking about the extra footage.
What do you say to people? There are some people who are like, "You're shooting additional scenes. You're cheating, Zack. You're just making a whole new movie."
Right. I mean,
what do you say to that?
I thought, it's an interesting. I think I think it's valid because, on one hand, though, I will say that it's gonna, in the end, it's gonna probably be about 4 minutes or 5 minutes of additional photography.
That's all you've added
for the entire movie.
Okay,
yeah,
that's good. See,
in the 4 hours that is Justice League, maybe 4 minutes. And I don't know that you've seen a lot of movies. There's a few, but there's not a lot of movies that have 4 minutes of additional photography beyond what was shot in principle. Most movies have quite a bit more than that. And
what do you say to people? There are some people who are like,
there you go. That was the chat with Zack Snyder talking about the extra footage that he's filmed that'll amount to no more than 4 or 5 minutes. And when you think about it, it's not unfair that he'd be allowed to do that. I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, I thought it was finished. Where was this almighty Snyder cut that was supposedly done and dusted?" And look, to be fair, now he's got to do it in a 4 1-hour slots, so there may need to be some editing and scenes that connect, to have kind of endings and beginnings for those 4 different segments that will make sense.
Yeah, we've talked a bunch of times over the past few years about the fact that there was a cut of the film, but not a finished cut. So because of that, it would have necessitated some reshoots and some pickup shots and some stuff as well, probably just to kind of make sense of the cut that he put together. And when you're working on something as complicated as this movie, and it was a complicated movie, even the Whedon cut was complicated. You're gonna make mistakes or realize you didn't say something clearly, or realize you don't have enough bridging material from one scene to another to let the story flow a certain way. So yeah, they were always going to do this. So it's both fair and unfair to point that out. And the reason why it's fair to point it out is not because of Zack Snyder at all, but the stands, as the kids say, of Snyder, who were just like hardcore. The movie's done, everything's ready to go. They're just keeping it from us, and it's just like, again, the truth lies somewhere in the middle.
Yeah,
as we've seen, and if he's only shot enough for 4 minutes worth of material, again, you can do a lot in 4 minutes.
Yeah,
you really can.
Yeah, indeed. So that's him talking about those, the extra scenes that he's filmed. And then today we saw the release of an updated teaser for Snyder's Justice League. It was initially released in black and white by Zack himself, which is his very arty style of wanting, films to be released in black and white. What he feels is, I don't know, an emotional connection to it. But then HBO on YouTube, HBO Max, released the trailer. I'm going to play a little bit of it here, and there's a very interesting part of it that is of note, which we'll speak about in a sec. Quickly, John's asking, is the Flash getting new footage in the film? Yes, there will be new footage that you have seen online and which we will see in this teaser, but probably more for all we know. Nobody really knows what the Snyder Cut actually contains other than those who have been lucky enough to see it within Warner Brothers themselves. But you'll see a bit of the Flash footage in the teaser that wasn't in the theatrical cut. So let's have a look at a bit of the teaser for Justice League, which was released today, and I'm going to grab it right now for you. Here is where is it? Here we go. Here it is. And yes, the music is the same. They got the permission to use the music. Let's not have all the comments about, oh, what a dreary song. Here it is.
Now I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah.
So that's just a bit of the teaser there. I'm not going to play the whole lot, obviously, because of copyright reasons. We don't want the stream to get shut down. But yeah, the Flash scenes were Barry Allen saving, why am I skipping on her name? Iris, yes, in the street, which from a car accident, which we have seen before online, but this will be included in Zack Snyder's cut of the film. But I did want to pay a special mention to this, the holographic image that we saw Bruce Wayne looking at that created so much conjecture online. Everyone talking about it being Supergirl, that the cape was too short, that the leg was female or too feminine, and it's Superman. And it's not just Bruce Wayne looking at it. There's Diana there, there's Arthur, all looking at this hologram of Superman, which is fascinating. It's actually a really nice shot. I really like that shot of Superman flying that's included as a hologram. But yeah, so it's not Supergirl, it's Superman.
Yeah, my biggest reaction to the hologram is that that's the most traditional Superman takeoff we've seen in these films.
Yeah, your leg raised, arm in the air.
Yeah, and it was weird that I thought that, but it was just the way he took off. I'm like, I don't think, because everything with Zack Snyder's when Superman was flying, it's always this like he's got a constipated look on his face and then he takes off, and that's a way to do it, and it fits the overall mood of the films because his Superman, kind of trades in power.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of him, taking off and flying gently the first time, it's this kind of, the ground shaking and it's gathering up dust and all that around him, and he just takes off, and you have the boom, boom, boom. And here it's just like a Christopher Reeve shot. So I was kind of fascinated by that.
Yeah, so John in the comments asking a super chat, how is that Superman or Supergirl, Steve? Well, it's Superman. I mean, you can easily tell it's Superman. He doesn't have his black hair. He's got short hair. So it's Superman. It's a hologram of Superman that they're looking at. I don't know what the scene is, why it's why it's in there, why they're looking at a hologram of him or whatever. It's obviously just footage of him, and they're maybe commemorating him, maybe reminiscing. I don't know what the case may be, but it's definitely the Man of Steel.
Probably when they're talking about bringing him back from the dead.
Yeah, quite possibly.
And Batman showing them the hologram to kind of remind them the majesty of this character and how he's there to inspire hope.
Yep. So that's one element of the teaser that was worth talking about. Another part was the fact that at the very end, I'm going to see if I can just bring it up, so bear with me a second. I'm just going to... You unmute us
It's-
there. So he at the very end, this final shot. No, where is it? This here. They've inserted a spaceship.
Yeah, for them to hop onto.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or something.
It's kind of interesting.
Or does
right?
somebody come out of it and say something to them?
Yeah, I think it's kind of. I mean, with all the CGI done on Superman, just in general, to give him the black costume. I don't know if that's like a ship that's picking them up to take them back to the Hall of Justice, or, and I know they're really not going back to the Hall of Justice because they're just developing that because this isn't about the Justice League. This is about how the Justice League becomes the Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
There is a bit of nuance there, but when I heard this was an updated trailer, I was kind of expecting more. Like it's kind of the same trailer except with a couple additional shots, and that.
Well, I guess it came from the fact that one, there was a couple additional shots with some computer graphics and some special effects added in, and two, because they had to pull the other one originally because of the issue with the music not being correctly, adequately supplied or copyright or whatever getting the rights to actually use it. So that's why they've re-uploaded it now, having got that all out of the way.
Wait a second. Warner Brothers had to re-upload a video due to copyright concerns. There's some irony for you.
I know.
How does it feel, WB?
Yeah, how does it feel, indeed? So that's the teaser. Anything else in there that caught your eye as far as updated scenes or images?
Not really. I mean, it seemed like there was less of Cyborg's father.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the scene where it shows him dying, it seemed like there was less there. I had the same reaction I had the first time I saw it. That song has a very specific meaning within Zack Snyder films, so it's kind of weird that they're using it here. This is going to be interesting to watch. I am not excited, but I'm not morally opposed to it. I am happy that there are people that are happy, and those that are just have been completely, dragging it through the mud all day. I kind of see where they're coming from too, because this is an interesting time to live in, because something people really went hardcore for is actually coming to be, and we can have very healthy debates on: is that is that letting the terrorists win? Are you giving in to ransom demands? Or is it a chance for a director to finish a movie that he obviously was passionate about, and because there's now a format to do that in, and they don't have to release it theatrically, they're releasing it through HBO Max. I think it's fascinating. I think, unfortunately, the behind-the-scenes stuff and all the stuff with Ray Fisher that keeps popping up, I think that is threatening to become more interesting than the film itself.
Yeah. That's just interesting. Firstly, Brad's saying that the audio sounds weird out of yours. It's not coming out of my microphone. Michael's not that close to me for his speaking to come out of my microphone. It just seems to be like when you talk, Michael, there's like a flapping noise. I don't know if you got a fan or something.
No, it's cold in this room.
Okay.
I'm kind of fascinated by that. Let's see if I move this a little.
That might be
any better.
Yeah, that might be a little bit better. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with that then.
Yeah, and Anthony just joined us, and he was one of the people who were very adamant at the time that the hologram was Supergirl. And I guess this teaser now, Anthony confirms that that's not the case. But yes, we will push on and hopefully have some more revelations as to what will be in the Snyder Cut as the release gets closer, which is in 2021. As part of the release of this teaser that Snyder released today, he went on to his Vero social media account and did a scene-by-scene breakdown of the teaser. And one fan posted it on YouTube because I can't grab it from Vero. One fan actually did a I guess, a live stream while he had it on his screen. So you will see the fan up in the left-hand corner. Ignore him. Concentrate on Snyder on the right-hand side of things, where he is talking here about the scene that we just spoke about, the hologram. So let's have a look at what Snyder had to say about his breakdown of this element of the teaser.
Here's a shot of during the conversation at the Wayne Aerospace hangar, and I wanted to clear up. A lot of people think that this is the Batcave that they're in here, and it is clearly not the Batcave. Those are windows with light streaming in. I don't know how people would think it was the Batcave. The Batcave is underground, and so it seems odd to me that one would confuse this with the Batcave. Bruce hasn't really, when he first meets these people, I don't think he's going to bring them directly to the Batcave. They still have a little bit of trust and development that needs to happen. Beside Wayne Aerospace is where the sort of defunct part of Wayne Aerospace is where he's been building the Flying Fox because it's too big to build in the Batcave. And so the transport that he developed there was developed for the military probably, and maybe never sold or never got to, the prototype he was never able to get it working. If you look you can see I think there's a number of them sort of in various states of construction within the sort of Wayne Aerospace hangar that is built out there. So it's a pretty, I'm looking here. Yeah, and that's this projection of this hologram is being projected, of course, by Cyborg out of his. There's a question here: is Cyborg projecting? Does Cyborg project Superman? And the answer is yes. This hologram projection is coming from Cyborg. But yeah, let's see what else we got here. It's an interesting, and then we have. You can see this is Ben, and this is more another scene in the Wayne Aerospace hangar, and Ben, or AKA Batman, contemplating the rebirth of Superman, and that what is to be done.
So there you have it, Snyder talking about where that was located, that it was it wasn't in the Batcave as a lot of people thought, and that was Bruce Wayne contemplating what to do about trying to get Superman back. So yes, not Supergirl, Superman as a hologram, and it was being projected by Cyborg. So that's the information about that. So Snyder can make things drag out when he talks. He just sits there and contemplates a lot. And really picks and chooses his words. But so there you have it. That was the scene pulled apart by Snyder himself. Any further thoughts on the Zack Snyder's Justice League, Michael?
No, we get these little bits and bobs of stuff coming out about it. So we talk about it, but I always feel like I just am saying the same thing over and over again. So move on to the next fun-filled story.
Yeah, well, let's move on to the TV side of things, where I was very pleased to see this week that Bitsy Chulok released a photo, or posted a photo on her social media accounts. So Twitter is where I grabbed this image from, and it is a image of the stage door, the sign on the stage door at the studio for Superman and Lois, where they've called it Kirk Stages in honor of Superman actor Kirk Alyn, who played the character in the 1948 serial Superman and its sequel Atom Man vs. Superman, which was released in 1950. I think that is an awesome thing. I don't know who stage 1 or stage 3 or stage 4, how many stage doors there are, but I assume, and I'd be really interested to see if the other stage doors are also adorned with the image and information on other Superman actors from, George Reeves, Christopher Reeve, whoever. That would be awesome to see that they're paying tribute to past actors in that way and giving, some historic background to the cast and crew who are part of the Superman and Lois TV series production.
Yeah, I mean, it's a legacy. I keep stumbling over my words tonight, and I have absolutely no idea why. No, it's a legacy. They know that they're part of a tradition, and to pay some homage to the past by calling a stage the Kirk stage. I'd like to see if there's like a George stage or a Tom stage. I would be, if they have like a set for the barn loft, that really should be the Welling stage. In all honesty,
yes, true.
But I like that they're doing that, because it seems to me that this series is going to do kind of what Supergirl does to a certain extent, but it really seems to be wanting to draw on a lot of Superman, not just like just like they're not just doing the Christopher Reeve version, or they're not doing the Henry Cavill version. It seems like they're drawing from the large rich tapestry of live action Superman, and that's only going to endear them to me more.
Yeah.
I looked at that and go, Bitsy, you can't make me love this more, and yet you just did. So there's that. It's very impressive.
So I really like what they're doing there, paying tribute to past Superman actors. I think that is fascinating and fantastic. So well done. And don't forget that Superman and Lois, the TV series, will premiere on the CW on Tuesday, February 23rd, 2021. So only a couple of months to go until we see the pilot episode for this new television series, and I cannot wait. There's a lot to look forward to there. All right, we're almost at the halfway mark of tonight's show. A reminder that if you do want to be part of our show tonight, head to Skype, open up Skype, search for Superman Homepage, send us a message saying you want to be part of the show, and hopefully we'll have time in the second half hour of our show to take some callers, but we're going to come back on the flip side to do the fan favourite segment right after this break, and then we're going to talk about comic books and other stuff as well. So we'll be right back right after these messages.
We'll be back in a moment with the exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by.
If you're enjoying WGBS TV Live, then please like and share this video with your family and friends. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can click on the bell to receive notifications whenever we post a new video. You can also join our YouTube membership program. Just click the join button below. Or you can become a patron and support our website by visiting patreon.com/Superman homepage.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. No, it's SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. SupermanHomepage.com, covering the world of Superman from the 1930s to today. News, reviews, rumors, and reports. SupermanHomepage.com for all your Superman comics, TV shows, movies, cartoons, radio shows, and more. Everything you ever wanted to know about the Man of Steel and more. SupermanHomepage.com.
Thanks, Superman Homepage, for all the support over the years. I really appreciate it.
I'm Matt Bomer. I'm the voice of Superman in Superman Unbound, and this is the Superman Homepage.
Right here on Superman Homepage.
Well, fellows and girls, what I have to say will only take a few seconds, but I hope it sticks with you for a long time. It's about cleanliness, being clean in mind as well as in body. Now, believe me when I tell you that a clean mind in a clean body is important to success and happiness in life. For instance, in school, in your social life, and later when you grow up in your business contacts, the quality of the clothes you wear is never as important as the condition of them. In other words, it's never as important to be expensively dressed as it is to be neat and clean. Being neat and clean always leaves a good impression. And a good impression is important to success. Well, the same thing is true of a clean mind. So begin now to develop the habit of being clean in mind and body. Think clean and keep clean. Lack of cleanliness is usually a sign of carelessness, and carelessness indicates laziness. Remember always that carelessness and laziness lead to failure. Start now to prepare for success by thinking clean and being clean.
And we're back on WGBS TV Live, where, as I mentioned, we're going to be getting into the fan favorite segment of our show, and here is our intro into that segment. All right, Michael, what was our question from last week?
Last week, our question was, what is the largest Superman item in your collection? And Jack Rocha wrote in and said that Superman Unchained from the first wave of McFarlane's DC Multiverse. That is a giant figure.
Wow.
He's not wrong.
There it is there.
That is a chunk of plastic. If it falls on your foot, it's probably going to break something.
Wow, that's excellent, Jack. Thank you for sharing that. That is an impressive figure. I haven't seen that one before. Yeah, very nice. All right, so next up we have Ron Crosby, who sent in this image. He said, while my posters are very large and take up space, I'm going to, just trying to move this here, I'm going to go with the sideshow statue of the Trinity. It is certainly the heaviest item I have. And that is a nice statue there.
That is a very nice statue. Steve Marshall wrote, it's probably not the biggest item you'll get sent, but it's the biggest item I own, a Superman towel cape. When I got married, we had a Superman-themed wedding, and the photographer bought this as a gift for me. There's pictures of me wearing it on my wedding day, not during the ceremony, mind you.
Yes, well done, Stephen. That's a nice cape. That's a big S on the back of that cape.
That is a big O. That's a big OS.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Kenny. Kenny Crayley Jr. said, there is not too many big items in my Superman collection, but I do happen to own two large 1/6 scale figures from Hot Toys of Superman. The Christopher Reeve Superman figure from Superman the Movie and a Henry Cavill Superman figure from Man of Steel. Both are really great detailed figures. I'm happy to own these amazing figures. Plus, I own a DC collectible CW Supergirl statue of Melissa Benoist's Supergirl in her season 1-4 costume. It's a really great statue and the likeness is spot on. Another thing I have, which sadly I don't have a picture of because the posters are rolled up, is the mail-away reproduction posts from Superman 1-4, plus Superman Returns I got in the 2006 Superman Movies DVD Ultimate Collector's Edition. Hopefully those will get put up on display soon. Thanks, Steve and Michael, and keep up the super great work with the Superman homepage. Yeah, I've got that same figure. It's the plastic shards of the Fortress of Solitude are very easily displaced and can create a chaotic scene. I had to just put mine up on the shelf above me, and yeah, that is one you have to handle very carefully because it's just they fall out all over the place.
That's where did you go? You disappeared. Yeah, I was also thinking that I have those posters too that came in the with the mail that you could do a mail away thing for with the Superman DVDs that came out in 2006.
Oh, nice.
All right, we have Ryan Ignatius Pratt wrote, this is an item I've shared before, but it's the largest Superman item that I have. It's a 6'4" cardboard cutout of the Man of Steel from the mid-90s. I love it as much now as when I first got it. I really want that thing, in all honesty. I've seen those, from time to time on eBay for like $100 a piece, and I'm just not ready to pay that much.
Wow. Yeah, that's very nice. Thank you for sharing that one, Ryan. A nice piece indeed. Okay, next up we have Robbie, who sent in this image. He says, hey guys, so although my Superman collection mostly consists of comics, clothes and media, As far as actual size, this giant size Batman v Superman poster is definitely it. Once me and my girlfriend find a house this coming year, it will definitely be going up. Have a super week, guys. Well, thank you, Robbie. That's a nice poster indeed. I've got that one. I used to have it up on my door in the background of some of my videos. Just not that much wall space anymore, so I have to pick and choose.
Alrighty.
Nice. Well, Michael, you have something you'd like to share.
Yeah, there's something I'd like to share with the class. This is one of my promo posters. This thing is like 5 feet tall. It is gigantic. Just for scale, those are some short boxes that are under that, because I have it above my Superman books.
Yes, about 5 boxes wide.
Yeah, that is the Superman and Lois wedding promo poster with some really cool Dan Jurgens art at the top of Superman and Lois as the cake topper.
Nice.
They have all the people that were involved in the book and all that. So I have another poster that's pretty much as big. It's just horizontal instead of vertical. But that one I actually had up, and I'm like, why not? I mean, it's just, if we're going to talk about big stuff, I mean, it's thin, but it's very tall.
Nice. Anthony just sent me a photo. I'm trying to send it to myself. Oh, I just sent it back to Anthony himself. That was smart. Let's see if I can save it. Could not save. Not having any luck saving it. But
apparently Anthony is airdropping that photo to you.
That's interesting. I didn't know you was that close to be able to airdrop it to me. Let me just put it on my phone and show it on the screen here so that you can all see it. So, whoops. There is Anthony's. It's a massive plush Superman doll. So you can see it's almost up to the handle of the door in the background there. So thank you, Anthony, for sending that in at the last second. That's an impressive plush size doll. Okay, here is my one. Just turn off Michael's and get back into that folder. Here is my largest item in my collection. It's
good lord.
Yeah, I had to put it out on the driveway today just to be able to get a snapshot of it. That's from one of the movie theaters here in Australia. A friend sent that to me to add to my collection. I have nowhere to actually put it, to actually display it, but yeah, you can see me there in the in behind the poster to give you an idea of its scale. So that is a nice item. A little bit damaged on some of the areas, on the corners, on the edges, but all in all, not in too bad condition. So I really love that one.
Yeah, that's. I didn't realize your driveway was that big, actually.
So that is the fan favorite segment for this week. So that's really cool. Thanks everyone for sending in the images. Michael, what is our fan favorite question for this week?
What is your favorite comic book that is in your collection?
Yes, this should be an interesting one. So an actual comic book you have in your collection. Probably not fair to go with the digital people. Let's keep this to actual print, physical copies. So if you have a physical copy of a comic book that is your favorite, send us an image to info@supermanhomepage.com. The email address is there up on your screen in the bottom right hand corner. info@supermanhomepage.com. Try to get them in before the show goes live if you can, so that we don't have to try to scramble to get them in on screen. So info@supermanhomepage.com. Send in your photos of your favorite comic book that is in your collection, and we will feature them here on the fan favorite segment when we return to this next week. So get involved in the fan favorite segment of our show.
Yes, please. It's a lot of fun.
Are you going to have to dig out something in those long boxes, Michael?
Well, thankfully everything's kind of in order, so I won't have to do too much digging.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be tough. It really will, because
yeah, it's hard to pick one.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, do I go for like my favorite story? Do I go for
Favorite
like something
cover?
that I have an emotional attachment to? Like, do I remember, do I remember where I was when I got this particular book? So it'll that's going to be interesting. I will probably procrastinate right till the last minute.
Yeah, and so when you do send us your photos of your favorite comic book, let us know why it's your favorite. Is it because of the story? Is it because of where you were in your life when you got it? Is it the cover that you're particularly, are enamored of? Get involved in the fan favorite segment of our show. Enamored. Is that what I said?
Yeah, you said enamored, and for some reason I went enamored of. I have no idea why.
All right. DC also released the solicitations for February this week, and we have the Future State saga continuing right across the board at DC in February. And this is some of the ones that we picked out to talk about here. Oops, turn that off in the background. So we have the Superman House of L Future State issue number 1. It's centuries into the future. The bloodline of Kal-El, the hero we know as Clark Kent, continues. Meet a new generation of Kryptonian heroes as diabolical foe called the Red King. Get ready, heroes as they stand against one of the greatest threats they've ever faced, a diabolical foe called the Red King. Get ready for the unexpected debuts of the twins known as Rowan and Ronan Kent, descendants of Jonathan Kent. Rowan is the new Superman of Earth, while his sister is a Blue Lantern. Also on board are the Theander Ban-El, whose mother was Tamaranian, and other heroes, all led by the original Man of Steel himself. Plus, don't miss an appearance by the Black Racer. See how the future of the Superman family comes together in this wild, extra-sized special.
That actually looks good. That's like the first one of these that, I mean, I'm not going to be getting it when it comes out. I'll probably pick it up when they put it on sale eventually. But that's the first one that I was like, ooh, that's actually kind of a cool, because it's so far into the future. It's not like the next generation. It's like farther down than that.
Yes, yeah.
So it feels like it's part of this, but separate in a weird way.
And then the other one I wanted to point out is Future State Superman and Metropolis number 2. Brain Cells, the advanced offshoot of the diabolical Brainiac, continues to lure Jonathan Kent down the wrong path, but things go from bad to this can't get any worse when it appears it has also taken some manner of control over Supergirl. If the Kryptonians clash, nothing will be able to protect the bottled city of Metropolis. Meanwhile, inside the bottle itself, the Guardian is doing everything he can to stop the city from destroying itself from within, while Mr. Miracle has discovered the trail of a strange signal that he doesn't realize will take him to Warworld.
Huh. So Supergirl and Jonathan fighting. That sounds exciting.
Nothing new there. They seem to go at it from time to time. So Future State is intriguing. I'm curious to see where these stories will lead. Each issue seems to have like a backup story of some of the B characters that are involved or impacted by the main story, and there are a lot of books, and this will be the conclusion, I think, to the Future State 2-month event, although some of them may go into March if that was only a number 1 of the Superman House of L issue. I don't know if it's a one-shot.
I wonder if that's just like a one-shot.
It is, actually, yeah, it says one-shot there on the screen, one-shot.
Which means that next month we'll be talking about who's writing Superman in action.
Yes, that'll be revealed.
Excited about that.
Yes, we'll definitely be speaking about that when the solicitations come out, if not earlier. DC are usually they usually like to release news the day or two before the solicitations come out, if there is some big breaking news, like a new creative team coming on board a particular title. So yes, watch this space for the announcement of who will be writing Superman and Action Comics. If I had to put money on it, I still think Tom Taylor will be there somewhere.
Yeah, and I saw Jamal Igle on Twitter kind of poking around that he has unfinished business with Superman, and tweeted back at him that if he ever was drawing a Superman title again, I would do everything in my power to promote it because he is such a fantastic artist.
Yeah,
so,
agreed.
Yeah, I'm going to bore you all to tears with that, but I made a promise and I'm going to stick to it.
And if you want to check out the rest of the Superman comic books coming out in February, the solicitations can be found at our website, so head across to supermanhomepage.com. But a little closer to home, this week in the world of comic books, this is what fans can look forward to checking out. We have Dark Knight's Death Metal number 5, which is available in a variety of different variant covers, which I'm pulling up on the screen for you. Yeah, just imagine that. Variant covers, a number of them. And yes, the standard black and white one as well. Also out this week is Justice League number 57, which is also available in a variant cover. And then on the trade paperback and hardcover side of things, we have Superman Action Comics Volume 3 Leviathan Hunt trade paperback. We have JLA by Grant Morrison Omnibus hardcover. We also have Underworld Unleashed, the 25th anniversary edition trade paperback. Can't believe it's been 25 years since Underworld Unleashed.
Yeah, well, next year it's going to be 25 years since the wedding. So.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Also out this week, we have in the digital side of things, so if you're reading the digital comic books, Deceased Hope at World's End number 14 is out today, Tuesday, November 17th. And then next week, on Monday, Superman Man of Tomorrow number 20 will be released on the November 23rd. You'll be able to download that then, and I highly recommend that series. It is fantastic. So that is what's out this week in the comic book world.
Yep. It's a pretty packed week, all things considered. Especially when you consider all like the variant covers to death metal. I mean, it's just good lord.
Endless. So before we move on to anything else, I do want to get a this week in history in this week. The Shield Awards, the 20th annual Shield Awards. The Superman homepage awards for everything involving Superman that happened in 2020, comic books with a 2020 cover date, Superman movies, TV shows, and merchandise released in 2020 are all available for you guys to vote on in the 2020 Shield Awards. When you do vote, you automatically go into the draw for a chance to win both of these. I'm going to show them to you. I don't have them up here. I'm going to grab it quickly for you. These two, where is it? Shield Awards. These two remote control helicopter Superman. Here they are. Bring that up on the screen for you there. So you get to you go into a draw to win the Superman 2-channel IR helicopter and the Superman 2-channel IR flying figure helicopter toys, thanks to fun.com. So they're the two helicopter remote control figures that you can win if you vote in the 2020 Shield Awards. And you can't miss it. You head to supermanhomepage.com. There's a massive banner with a spinning S. Click on that and that'll take you to the page where you get to vote. There are 15 categories to vote in. Things like Best Comic Book Writer, Best Regular Superman Title, Best Comic Book Cover, Best Supergirl Episode, all those different things for the 2020 Shield Awards. So make sure you get involved. It's free. Enter all around the world. Doesn't matter who you are. Get involved in the 2020 Shield Awards.
Yep, please do. And I can't believe you've been doing that for 20 years.
Yeah, it's been crazy. So yes, 2020, 20 years of doing the Shield Awards. Cannot believe it. All right, well, let's do a This Week in History, Michael. I'm going to play your intro for you right now, and hopefully I have all the figures for you.
Come with me now, my son, as we break through the bonds of your earthly confinement, traveling through time and space.
All the comic book covers, let me see.
All right, the first one should be Action Comics number 32.
Okay.
As I'm talking and you're pulling stuff up. This came out on November 21st, 1940, as a January 1941 cover date. It has a Superman story, the Preston Gambling Racket, which actually sounds like something from the radio show.
So, what was that issue? What issue was it that you said?
Action 32.
I don't have that one up. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. You could also read about Pet Morgan, Black Pirate, Three Aces, Tex Thompson, Clip Carson, and Zatara in that episode, or that issue-sode. We're going to stick with
that.
We have Adventure Comics, which is the cover you have up, which is the Adventures of Superman when he was a boy on the cover, which is there. It's very old-fashioned. She's carrying a pendant from the high school, but it has the Superboy story Prince Charming, as well as an Aquaman, Johnny Quick, and Green Arrow story. Also, same year, jumping ahead to 1950, we have Superboy number 12.
Yep, I got that one.
Which I nearly misread the name of the Heroes Club. That would have been an interesting mistake to make. The puppet came to life, and Superboy's problem parents, and for some reason the cover is just Superman staring at people drawing on the blackboard. Jumping ahead to 1960, we have Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane, number 22, which has Lois Lane's X-ray vision. She's using her X-ray vision on Clark's chest, which seems like an invasion of privacy. Going ahead to 1970, Superboy number 171, which introduces Aqua Boy. That is the Adventures of Aquaman when he was a boy, apparently. I didn't find anything in 1980 for this week, but jumping ahead to 1990, Superman number 51. This is an important book, y'all. This is the very first comic to have the triangle number on it.
Oh.
And that would continue for over a decade. So this was, I remember when this popped up that month. It introduced the mysterious Mr. Z, who didn't go really anywhere.
I miss the triangle titles.
It really... Here's the thing about those the triangles. It only worked when the creative teams were on board with it.
Yeah.
Years ago we talked to Jeff Loeb, and he told us that none of the people working on it when he did liked them. So you could kind of tell. But when it was firing on all cylinders, it was something that could never. It's never going to be duplicated in comics. You're just never going to have that again. Jumping ahead to 2000. November 15th, Adventures of Superman number 586 came out. This has Superman shaking hands with Lex Luthor, who has just been elected. Who's just been elected president. The Superman titles, I might add, were very quick to call him president-elect, unlike real-life things. Then jumping ahead to 2010, we have Supergirl number 58. Drawn by Jamal Igle, who we just mentioned, and written by Sterling Gates. This is kind of later in their run, right before they left, unfortunately. But probably one of the best runs of Supergirl from this century. We also have Superman number 705, where writer J. Michael Straczynski takes on child abuse. It's a rather simplistic story, but on the other hand, it's one that I rather enjoyed when I first read it. So Superman passes by and hears a little kid crying in his basement. Also, you had Superman Batman number 78 in a story title "Who Would Win?" and you got Superman and Batman on the cover of that, facing off against a bunch of villains in the real world, such as it is right now. We have on November 16th Harry Lennox, General Swanwick in the 2013 Superman movie, and apparently Martian Manhunter, was born in Chicago, Illinois in 1964. On this date, which is the 17th of November, Justice League animated series made its debut on television, and ironically, the Justice League movie was released in theaters in 2017. November 18th, the release of Superman number 75 in 1992. November 20th, Phyllis Thaxter, Martha Kent, and Superman the movie was born in Portland, Maine in 1921. And Jeremy Jordan, Win Shot in 2015, was born in Corpus Christi, Crispy? It's probably hot. It's Texas. Corpus Christi, Texas in 1984. Oh my God. I didn't realize I was older than him. I guess I should have realized that, but I didn't. And that is This Week in History.
Excellent. Yes, I managed to have some of those images ready for you. So, yeah, that's This Week in History. That's impressive.
I really should get those to you.
No, all good. No, not too hard. It's just a matter of... it's sometimes tricky with the dates. You're not sure, like, when they fall in a particular... I don't never know if to go from the Monday or to go from the Wednesday so it's always a little bit tricky, always maybe overcomplicate it for myself.
Yeah, somebody is mentioning in the comments that this backdrop does not mesh well with me. I guess darker backdrops are better for this, so I'll have to look into that. But it got really cold in here, so it felt like I was in the fortress.
Yeah. As I promised, here is some imagery of what my room is looking like at the moment. I'm just going to grab those for you here. Just bear with me a second as I grab those. Here we go. So here are some images of the room as it stands. Just going to go through these a little bit by bit. So yeah, more streamlined. Less things on the floor, things get put up on more shelving. So I've got a shelf at the back of the room there that's got some of the larger figures, and then that's looking at my computer there in the far corner. But just below that Man of Steel poster, that's where I sit, and there's more shelving above me for highlighting of some particular statues. Still got the shelving around the top of the room, but just kind of streamlines things a little better. And that's from the back door to the garage, where you can look up and see the rest of the room there. And then the final photos from the other corner, from where I sit, looking back at the room. And so really happy with how it's come together. Still a few things to put up and a few additions to be placed around, but all in all, it's come up nicely, and thankfully the floor was fantastic. After removing the carpet, it came up looking really good. So very happy with that. So that is up to date where we are.
Yeah, looks really impressive. I hope within a couple of months I'll be showing off a new office as well. We'll see how that works out. I'm really going to put some thought into where everything goes.
Yeah, it's not easy. It is not easy at all. You end up throwing away a few things, or just saying, "No, I can't store that in the car." It's just ridiculous. I don't know why I kept that in the first place. But nevertheless, that is the show for this week. Before we do sign off, I'd like to thank everyone for watching tonight's episode of WGBS TV Live. Thanks to all the YouTube people there posting your comments and asking questions. We appreciate your involvement. And thank you to you, my co-host, Mr. Michael Bailey. Thank you, Mike.
Pleasure as always, Steve.
And remember, if you want to support the Superman homepage, all you have to do is click the join button below on our YouTube video, or you can head to patreon.com/Superman homepage. But we'll be back next week on Tuesday, November 24th for another edition of WGBS TV Live. We look forward to talking with you then. Until then, be sure to check out supermanhomepage.com for all your daily news updates on everything surrounding the Man of Steel. I'm Steve Eunice on behalf of myself and Michael Bailey. Thanks for watching WGBS TV Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com.